Did you watch this?
Derail Lions game plan. Look, honestly, I watched the first half and found it so atrocious that I turned it off and felt I'd get on with my life.
What did you do, fall asleep?
No, I just turned it off and went back to the family.
Well, I was trying to watch it. I was flicking between Melbourne and Carlton, and that wasn't really doing it for me. And I was flicking between this game, and this was killing me. So I was going backwards and forwards, and then I ended up having a 10-minute snooze on the couch, and I woke up and nothing got better. They hit it was a record low for Fremantle. It was unwatchable. Yeah. For a game of football and people who love games of football, I know Ross Lyon's not into that. But for the rest of us who watch a game of football, we like seeing good things. I like seeing Stephen Hill and Tendai doing what they did last year. It's been coached out on at the moment. Defend first, and when you get the ball, we'll try and attack, but there's no forward line. Everything's been brought up the ground. That'd be angry in Perth. I'd like to listen to the Perth talkback. It was spoken about 2 weeks ago that the fans were really impatient. I reckon they would have been angry in Fremantle today.
Well, you've asked and we will deliver. This is the landscape in Perth.
Another triumph for the West Coast Eagles. Derby 35, comprehensively belonging to them. A lot to think about for Fremantle.
We sit here hurting. We're proud, we're hurting, but we don't want to fracture. And we know people come, we know the headlines will be written, but that's the business, and you know, we've got the character to dig in and do the work.
This style will simply not win games of football on a consistent basis, and the most, I suppose, disappointing thing is it's a completely different style of game that we saw them play when they won against Geelong right at the start of the season, for instance.
Fremantle in some trouble, in my opinion. Their effort last week and their second half today were pretty insipid, really, and Ross Lyon would be very disappointed with what they delivered up in the second half here today.
We've got a lot of work to do. We've got to improve our football program. You know, we went into some simple aims to compete, protect the ball carrier and move the ball quickly. I thought we tried to move it quick, but our composure and spreading the ball was poor.
Ross Lyon seems to have brought the same game plan across and probably hasn't structured it to the players because they're obviously different to the Saints players.
We'll push forward and try and expose our youth, and you know, those players that want to be a part of the solution, that work really hard, will support, and then try and filter out those that don't want to, you know, work to the standard that we need to.
When is he going to get over? It has to be a grungy rugby league type of defensive game of football and learn how to attack.
I'm not going to wake up tomorrow and the world's not flat, you know, and the sun's going to come up, and you know, we need to build and improve. And I know there's character within the group. I know the coaches are really determined, and you know, we've sort of haven't met expectations over the last few weeks, and we're pretty keen to grow.
The problem is, Jared, it was a successful game plan under Ross at St Kilda. I know they didn't win the flag, but they got to 2 consecutive grand finals. The issue is Fremantle haven't got the clout, the midfield clout that St Kilda had. They haven't got Rewalt in the forward line, they haven't got Cosby, haven't got Milne, they haven't got a defence led by really good soldiers like Blake and a really good football like Sam Fisher. They had a better make-up, St Kilda. Now, in the first year Ross Lyon was at St Kilda, I think it was 11-11. It's a very taxing game style. Now, there's the only other issue I'd like to discuss there. We've had the Scott boys on, we've had coaches on talk to us about the changing climate of footy, that offensive football is starting to play a greater role. Just little things like kicking more use of the corridor. You have to wonder, and we're not internal, so we don't know exactly what Ross Lyon's doing. But watching the game, you have to wonder, is there too much negative and the game's gone a bit more offensive, and they're left behind because they're slow in the midfield. They haven't got gun forwards when Pav goes in the midfield. They've got McFarlane at the back. He's a really good player. Michael Johnson's one of the most improved players in the comp, but they've got no speed.
It was said when he took the job that he was walking into a better list of the Dockers than he had at St Kilda. That's not being said anymore.
It's taken 9 weeks. I wonder how Mark Harvey's feeling about it. And I want to ask you the question of the administration. They're not going to say they made an error. There's absolutely no way, and there's no evidence to suggest that they did. But they would be disappointed with the output with this talented list. There's no question about that. And if they say otherwise, that's a lie. They are poor. They've kicked 100 points once. It's not diabolical. I think they're 5-4, which is not diabolical. But they have to change their game a little bit because teams are just too adventurous around them now.